What's going on, everybody? Timothy Wilkes here with T-Dubs Entertainment, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the Freza arc, and a lot of things I remember from it, from all the way from the things I liked. I didn't dislike anything, except some things didn't have to be in there, like the Bulma and Captain Ginyu the Frog thing. Some things didn't have to be there, but it was comedic. I know it's for comedic purposes, so it didn't really kill the series for me, so I didn't really care whether it was in there or not, so it didn't bother me. The Freza arc was, I say it was my favorite, honestly. It's my favorite, but at the same time it was the beginning of the end when it came to transformations. However, like I said, they made transformations look good. Even though you had Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, it still they made it look good. It wasn't all about this crazy. They didn't have all these unexplained power-ups back then. Like they actually had build-up and execution. Like when they tried to ascend past Super Saiyan because Super Saiyan wasn't good enough anymore, and they did it the right way. They put in the right work. Super Saiyan 2 was actually, it doesn't look much different from Super Saiyan 1, but it's still cool, and it's not crazy. It's not an insane, ridiculous looking like Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct and stuff like that. So it was, but I say at the beginning and the end because that's when all this craziness stuff started. They started because everything after that was a rehash. When it came to transformation and stuff like that, because Cell transformations honestly kind of reminded me of Freza, but Cell Saga still runs circles around Super, anything in Super. So I still like these arcs, even though, like I said, they still have their problems, but I still like them. There are areas where the Freza Saga drug out a little bit, but even with the Goku fight, Goku versus Freza fight. Now, that was long anticipated, so we all wanted to see that. I remember being in 4th grade, we all wanted to see Goku versus Freza, and we were always, I was in 5th grade then, we was talking trash about Goku versus Freza, who's gonna win and all this other stuff. So I remember those days. I remember growing up with Dragon Ball. That's why, like I said, I hate what they're doing to it, because these kids now that's growing up with it, they don't get the same they're not getting the same experience that we got, because we grew up when it was, before it had all these crazy power-ups and transformations. At least Super Saiyan was something. Super Saiyan was that was the transformation back then. That was tight. That was something we was looking forward to. I think we had access to the website, the Dragon Ball Z website, so we saw Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 before they even came out. However, we still looked forward to watching the next episode. But I go back to Gohan being, not Gohan, but the Freza arc, because Goku. It started out with Goku being in the hospital, and Goku and where all of them were. Goku, Gohan, Krillin. Of course, Piccolo died. The Nappa. All of them died. They all were dead. And they were trying to figure out, and this is where all the adventure came in. That's why I don't, it's the stuff I missed from Dragon Ball, because Frieza's, the whole Namek side was one big adventure. They went to the other side of the universe to fight a tyrannical maniac that was bent on ruling the entire universe. How adventurous can you get? You know what I'm saying? That's what you call adventure. And none of that's in Super. It's just boom, 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 because everybody has instant transmission. Everybody can teleport. Everything's just instantaneous. That's why I think Goku having instant transmission was useful in certain areas, but I think they could have written their way around that kind of stuff. Because people being able to teleport, that kind of makes stuff a lot. It takes the adventure out of stuff. I understand why they gave it to them. It's a cool power up, instant transmission. It's a cool technique, but it kind of took a lot of the adventure out of stuff, because they could just find the Dragon Ball. Now they're so fast and so powerful. Like when in Super, when Vegeta found the Dragon Balls for Beerus, he found them in like less than an hour. He went all around the world, found in less than an hour, and found them all. And at the end of Super, I would like to see the consequences that are actually like in GT of using these Dragon Balls all this much. I would like to see a series where they can't use them. They're not able to use them because of the things that they've done to the Dragon Balls, like in GT, but with better execution. But anyway, they're all in the hospital, and I know in the Kaido, Krillin brings up the fact, hey, if Piccolo was from Namek, Piccolo and Kame, they were from Namek, there might be a way to bring the others back. And lo and behold, you know, Kame had a spaceship, and Mr. Popo took them to the spaceship, and they were able to, he showed Bulma the spaceship because she was the one smart enough to operate one and rebuild it or whatever to fit their needs. And they were able to eventually blast off to Namek. I'm going to ignore the fake Namek crap because that's one part they could have saved. I enjoyed all the rest of it when they first got to Namek, when the Freza soldiers blasted their ship, and then they found people that were way stronger than Vegeta. Freza soldiers all as powerful as Vegeta, if not stronger, and then they sensed Frieza's power level. It just showed how hopeless the situation was, but you knew somehow they were going to come out on top, but you didn't know how. You didn't know how or where or how or how it was going to happen. So you had to keep watching. You know, it's not predictable like it is in Super, where you're just guessing what's going to happen next. We didn't know what was going to happen next. We didn't know which way it was going to turn. And one thing I did like, I'm gonna talk about the Buu Saga in the future. One thing I did like about the Buu Saga, even though it's what makes it way better than Super, it wasn't predictable. You didn't know what was gonna happen next. One minute you thought Gohan was gonna win. We knew Gotenks wasn't gonna win. We had our hopes on Gohan because Goku was dead. He didn't have any hopes on coming back to Earth. We didn't know Goku was even gonna come back. We had no idea. So we had no clue. They didn't know anything about Goku coming back, because as far as they knew, Goku couldn't return back to Earth. So they had suspense, they had tension. Even though you had gods and things like that present, Goku and Vegeta were still considered the strongest in the universe, next to Majin Buu, and they were only ones they were in consideration when it came to taking Majin Buu out. So that's what brought on the tension. They were the only ones that even had a chance, even though they were still weaker than Buu. But that's where all the tension came in. But like I said, they got to Namek. They were stranded on Namek. All these people are stronger than them, and then that's when they were able to contact Goku. They had Freza. They came upon a village where Freza had 4 Dragon Balls. He was already in possession of 4, because they showed this tyrannical being. He already had 4 Dragon Balls. He didn't have no problem killing people. He was slaughtering the people on this planet to get these Dragon Balls and doing what he had to do. He was way stronger. So them getting the Dragon Balls from him, the whole situation seems hopeless. Now on Earth, they went around collecting Dragon Balls and doing this and that, but on Namek, it brings another hopeless situation, because this Freza found he was listening in on Vegeta, Nappa Scouter, and he found out about the Dragon Balls. So he went to Namek. He knew that the Namekians had a set of Dragon Balls, because he found out, Vegeta was going to Vegeta had gone rogue. He was going to make a wish on the Dragon Balls behind his back. And when Freza caught wind of the wish, hey, I could be immortal. I could rule the universe forever. I'm already strong, so I mean, it doesn't matter. But I could rule the universe forever. I could do this. My reign, I can't die. I won't be able to die, and I can rule forever. So that's where he decides he wants to go to Namek and get the Dragon Balls. But Freza, that's why that's why I say they ruined his character in Super. I'm talking about how they ruined his character in Super, because he was just tyrannical. He didn't care. He was heartless. I like how heartless he was. I liked that. I missed heartless Freza. The ruthless Frieza that'll kill at the drop of a dime and don't care. I missed that one. Because he didn't hesitate. He didn't care. He didn't hesitate. He wasn't playing. He wasn't messing around. So, but it seemed like with the Z fighter he was playing with food, but that's way later down the line, because we still have the whole Namek part to get through, the Ginyu Force. Because we go back to the Doria, Zarbon, and all that stuff. I love, and even with Vegeta in this arc, I love Vegeta in this arc. He was an evil, selfish bastard. I love it. Because he a lot of obstacles, he eliminated a lot of obstacles that was in their way. But it wasn't like he was trying to be a good Samaritan. He did it for his own sense of revenge and own vengeance, because he had been tortured by them his whole life. He had dealt with charge, and he finally, his Zenkai boost that he got from Earth, he got stronger from Earth. He got stronger from fighting the Z fighters and losing, which made him stronger than Dodoria but weaker than Zarbon's monster form. So he killed Kui, because Kui had challenged him, because Kui still thought they were even, but he had gotten the Zenkai boost. He had went from 18,000 to I think like 24,000 or something like that. He had gotten as strong as Goku's Kaioken times 4. He was close to that power, but yeah, Kaioken times 4 on Earth. He had gotten close to that power, but he was still weaker than Zarbon's monster form. But he beat Kui. He killed Kui. I just like how ruthless he was. It's just, I hate that they took that away from him as he got further up into, further into the future arcs. But he didn't care. He didn't mind killing people. But I think it's because he had a history with those people. He had a certain grudge against them. Had he had a grudge against Cell, he would have annihilated Cell too. He wouldn't have cared how strong he was. He wouldn't have, cause all this saying crap about I wanted to be stronger and I want to challenge an opponent. He never cared. Vegeta never cared about killing people weaker than him until
Looks like you lost another one.
Until I think it got until, what was it? It was a Cell arc. That Super Saiyan transformation. That was their undoing. Just like when Goku made the same mistake against Freza. He wanted to draw out time. I want to fight him in his full strength. Goku made the same mistake. This has a lot to do with their Super Saiyan form. Because when they were in base, they didn't have that urge. So and Trunks sure as hell didn't have it. He didn't care. If you were a threat, he would eliminate that threat. That's why I love Trunks. But I'm rambling on. We gotta keep going with the Freza arc. We'll talk about that stuff later on down the road. I don't want to spoil the fun. But Vegeta goes through Kui. He kills Dodoria, because Dodoria was looking for Krillin and Gohan after they had stopped Dodoria from killing Dende. Gohan and saved Dende. That's where Dende comes in, and they saved Dende, which he's become a reliable asset in the whole series of Dragon Ball. He saves Dende, and thereafter Dodoria chases after them, and then Vegeta intervenes and kills Dodoria. And in a random encounter, he goes after Zarbon, but he fights Zarbon. He loses to Zarbon because Zarbon had a monster form and he transformed into it, and Vegeta was defeated. That was a good fight too. I like that fight, even though that was one of my favorite one-side beatdowns on Namek. Vegeta versus Zarbon, Vegeta versus Raccoon. I like to go back and watch that fight sometimes. Goku versus the Ginyu Force. That's a one-sided beatdown till you get to Captain Ginyu. before Captain Ginyu changed bodies with Goku. That's a decent fight. But Vegeta gets a Zenkai boost from getting beat down by Zarbon. He turns around and steals the Dragon Balls. And from Freza, he goes to the ship. He does this. He's a very strategic tactician when it comes to, not only when it comes to fighting, but when it comes to getting things that he needs. He stole the Dragon Balls right off from under Frieza's nose. He threw them halfway across the freaking planet, and then he killed Zarbon. No, he went off wherever he found them hidden, and then he went to. He saw Krillin flying with a Dragon Ball, so he went after Krillin. Because first Krillin got a I think Krillin had got a power up. He got so caught up in his power up, and he had the Dragon Ball that he forgot that Vegeta was still around Namek, and Vegeta was tracking him. So Vegeta followed Krillin to their little hideout, and because Krillin's plan was to get the Dragon Ball from Guru and hide it away. They was to take one Dragon Ball and hide it until they can buy their time, because Goku was on his way by around this time when they contacted Master Roshi to tell him how hopeless the situation was. That's when Goku decided to join him on the quest, because he had got a sense of being from Yajirobe. Now Goku's on his way to Namek, and so they were trying to hide one away and stall until Goku got there, because Goku was going to be there in 6 days. Let's see where we at now. Vegeta follows Krillin to their little hideout, and then Vegeta demands the Dragon Ball from Krillin, and Zarbon shows up, and that's it's another fight, but it's a one-sided beatdown. But it's the other way, because Vegeta got his Zenkai Buu. He was strong enough. He defeated Zarbon easily, even in his monster form. He was toying around with Zarbon. Killed him, punched a hole through his stomach, and killed him. So Krillin had to give up the Dragon Ball, and Gohan was off finding because earlier Vegeta had destroyed a village and killed the people in the village, slaughtered the people in the village, took their Dragon Ball and threw it in the lake. Gohan found that Dragon Ball with the Dragon Radar. He used that Dragon Radar to find that Dragon Ball, and and he had an encounter with Vegeta, but he managed to hide the Dragon Ball, and Vegeta saw the radar. It's like, oh, it's just a watch, it's just nothing. But Vegeta knees him in the stomach, just out of just for being an evil bastard, because he was a jerk. Flies away, and hey, look, I got the Dragon Ball. He didn't see it, and Vegeta went to that other he went to where Gohan found the Dragon Ball at. So this is my last. Vegeta's like, okay, I got all 7 now, and he was pissed. But by the time Vegeta had got in, because Gohan and Krillin, then they were headed to Guru's to unlock Gohan's potential, because Krillin had already had his potential unlocked, so they were going to unlock Gohan's potential with Guru. And by the time they got close to Guru, Vegeta was on his way, and he got the power up. Gohan got the power from Guru, but by this time Freza had dispatched the Ginyu Force. He had planned on calling before Zarbon had got killed, though, but he had called the Ginyu Force, and that's when things get real. That's stuff I like. A lot of stuff gets hopeless. They're extremely, they're powerful. He said, "There's 5 guys as strong as me, if not stronger." Because that's when Vegeta started panicking. Now this ruthless, savage killer starts panicking and crapping his pants, because there are 5 guys that's coming as strong as him, if not stronger, way stronger. They're stronger than him. That can beat him into the ground. So that's why he was panicking. So they was trying to hurry up and get the Dragon Balls and make a wish and go to, because Vegeta already knew where the Dragon Balls were, and the Ginyu Force showed up and they found them quickly with ease, and they completely decimated. Vegeta fought Raccoon. You got Raccoon, you got Jice, Berta, the one that stops time and frees time by holding his breath. I can't always remember his name. Then you got Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu is one of my favorite. He is one of the most interesting because they all have like interesting powers. They were at least interesting because they were at least interesting. But you have Vegeta fought Raccoon. What was it? Gildo. That's the green one. That can freeze time and crap like that, and paralyze people, use telekinesis and stuff like that. He's very similar to Chaozu, but he can't. Chaozu can't freeze time, but he can paralyze people. But Gildo, Gohan and Krillin fought Gildo. Vegeta had to save them because, plot. Show how ruthless Vegeta was. And some in the manga, I think in the manga, he cut Gildo's head off with his hand. And another one, you see a laser beam and his head just falls off. But in the manga, it was brutal. You see him literally chopping Gildo's head off, which that's what I meant. A lot of things I miss about Dragon Ball, which is the gore and the blood and all that stuff. Because in the Kai version, when I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, you saw Zarbon's blood. Vegeta literally punched a hole through Zarbon. You see what I'm saying? So you see a lot of blood, especially when I'll talk about it later down the road. You'll see a lot of blood and gore in this arc. With Gildo, Vegeta chops his head off in the manga. Just chops it off brutally. Vegeta was brutal, man. He didn't care. He caved your skull, and like when he slaughtered the Namekians at the village, he was sending rocks through people's chests and stuff. He was caving their skulls in, man. He was brutal. He didn't care. He was a savage. But after that, after he fought Raccoon, but he was forced to join forces with the Z Fighters, the Z Gang, or whatever you want to call them, the Dragon Team, or the Z Fighters. I deal with Z Fighters, the good side. He was forced to join forces, even though he wasn't a hero just yet. He was still an evil scumbag. But he had to team up with them because now they get 3. The Namekian Dragon gives you 3 wishes instead of 2. Of course, we know this by now. I'm just discussing everything. So they team up. I'm just telling you, this is stuff I like, man. They had to team up. They had to join forces. Raccoon decimated Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin. They didn't stand a chance. Raccoon took all of them out by himself. He was just that strong. And then Goku makes an entrance and shows up and one-shots Raccoon. He one-shots Raccoon. And that's one shot. It wasn't even a contest. That's how much stronger Goku had got. You know how hard it was? I'm just gonna explain the impact. This is the impact of this. That's why Vegeta was scared. He was crapping his pants about the Super Saiyan has arrived and all this other stuff. Goku went. Just go back to the beginning. Goku went from can't even beat Raditz to making just playing with Nappa, making Nappa his plaything. Barely able to beat Vegeta. Last time he fought Vegeta was stronger. He got his tail handed to him by Vegeta. Vegeta lost. This Goku would annihilate Vegeta even in his grade 8 form. Even if let's say you put Ginyu Saga when Goku first arrived on Namek, versus Vegeta during the Saiyan saga in his grade 8 form, Goku would win. Bar none. Just easily. He would win. Effortlessly. Effortless. Kaioken times 3 would obliterate Ozaru Vegeta
Looks like you lost another one.
at his strongest peak. And even at his peak, let's just say he made a artificial moon and transformed without losing any power, and he was at full strength, Goku would still win because he could do up to Kaioken times 10. He had said he could do up to times 10 easily. Because the stronger his body got, the higher he could go with Kaioken. Because he could do times 10 effortlessly without destroying his body. Times 3, times 4 would annihilate Vegeta. Because he was already at 90,000. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 360,000. Versus Vegeta's possible 180,000. And this when power level still mattered. But he could, yeah, he was twice as strong. He would have annihilated Vegeta. He would have obliterated him. So that's showing you how much stronger he had gotten. He went from just over 8,000 to 90,000. He had gotten over 10 times stronger. So yeah, that shows you a lot. It just even from Z, even from Saiyan Saga, from Raditz to Vegeta, he had gotten he went from 300 something all the way up to over 8,000 in 85 days. 85 days of training. So he advances pretty quick, but look where he trained at. Look how hard he pushes his body. He pushes his body to near death and heals and trains to the limit, heals, trains to the limit, gets stronger. So that's those Zenkai boosts. But you look at let's see. But Zenkai boost was more so a plot based thing in the Namek saga to get everybody up to Freza level, because Vegeta was equivalent to first form Freza after he got hurt by Raccoon. He was on the level of first form Freza. But anyway, Goku shows up, saves Gohan because Raccoon had snapped Gohan's neck. He kneed him in the neck. He did some kind of move and broke Gohan's neck. Paralyzed Krillin. See, these people, they were paralyzed. They were getting their whole bone. Krillin had gotten his whole body shattered. He was paralyzed. Gohan had his neck snapped. Vegeta had one more attack. If he had got hit one more time, he would have died. Because Raccoon was Raccoon was ruthless. Hey, that was pretty fun. I'm gonna go ahead and kill you now, okay? You know, he was they made sport of just killing. So oh yeah, I like when he did and you fight him in Tenkaichi. You do well. You do well. That's pretty funny to me. But anyway, he one-shot Raccoon. Jason Berta couldn't even keep up with him at all. They couldn't do anything. He a couple of hits on Berta, he was out. Jason, he just blew through them. He put Berta down for the count. Then Vegeta went because Goku didn't kill Raccoon. He just left him unconscious. He didn't kill Berta. He just left him unconscious. Vegeta went behind him and killed them once Jace left to go get Captain Ginyu. He called, he was saying how Goku is too soft to be a Super Saiyan and all this other stuff. And these people are ruthless savages and how you should. And I kind of feel Vegeta on that. He's like, look, if you had showed up later, your son would have been dead. If you showed up later, they would have killed your son without a second thought. And it was something about Z. For some reason, there are some situations that had me rooting for Vegeta. That had me taking Vegeta's side. Because these are ruthless savages. He's trying to give them a second chance. And they ain't thinking about that. They just trying to kill. They'll stop at nothing to win a fight, and he's trying to give them a second chance and give them the chance their ways. They're not trying to do any of that, and Vegeta's trying to tell them that, look, you can't keep giving these people a chance. He was trying to tell them that about Freza too, because Goku kept trying to help Freza and give him a second chance, but we'll talk about that later. But Vegeta, he knows these people. He's dealt with these people before. He's like, they're ruthless savages. They don't care. They'll kill anybody. They'll do what it takes. They'll do what they have to do to win a fight. I know them. They're scum. You can't just let them go, because it'll come back to bite you, which it does. Because when Jais went and got Captain Ginyu, they fought. Him and Goku fought, and when Ginyu finds out how strong Goku actually is, even with Kaioken times 2, he was way above Ginyu. Goku was just making sport of Captain Ginyu, and Captain Ginyu's max was 120, but Goku was Kaioken times 2, which is effortless. He could do that with just nothing now. He could just do that like it was nothing. In the Saiyan saga, he was able to do Kaioken times 2 like it was nothing. So imagine if he's 10 times stronger and has trained, it's sure enough nothing now. It's effortless. 180,000 easily. He could easily take out Captain Ginyu with one shot. He could one-shot Ginyu. He was like, if you all you have to do is leave now, I won't kill you, and all that kind of stuff. So Ginyu took the opportunity to just use his power that Jais knew about. He stole Goku's body. He switched body. He wounded himself. He injured his own body. He took his hand and punched a hole through his chest. There's enough some more gore in there. He punched a hole through his chest and injured, gave a fatal blow to his own body, and changed bodies with Goku. Because who could predict that? Who could predict that somebody has the power to switch bodies? But I believe Goku should have just tapped these guys out. Even if he wasn't gonna kill them, he should have tapped them out. Should have made them down for the count. He should at least paralyze them or something, like he did with Nappa. I really think so, because at least that way they can't walk. But took Goku's body. Ginyu went to fight Gohan and Krillin in Goku's body, and Goku eventually caught up with them in Ginyu's body, and they fought. Ginyu started catching on to Goku's body and his powers, and Vegeta stepped in. Vegeta stepped in because Ginyu was like he started losing to Krillin and Gohan, and it's like, Jace, I could use some help, and that's when Vegeta stepped in, killed Jace. They fought for a little bit, but he killed him. He read Vegeta's power, but he said it was unbelievable. Of course, we know where Vegeta's power was, because he was on par with first form Freza. That's what made Jace crap his pants. Vegeta was on par with first form Freza at this point, because he had a Zenkai from Raccoon.
It looks like you lost another one.
He kills Jace and goes to beat on Captain Ginyu in Goku's body that Krillin and Gohan were having so much trouble with. He effortlessly destroyed Ginyu in Goku's body. Was going to do the finishing blow, and Captain Ginyu was ready to change bodies with Vegeta. That's when Goku got his body back, jumped in the way, got his body back, and he had to be put in the healing chamber. They got the Dragon Balls. Vegeta said, look, Vegeta was tired. He took a nap. That's when they got the Dragon Ball. Gohan, Krillin went and got Dende. Dende they wound up meeting halfway, because Dende was told to go meet them and give them the password, and Krillin was gonna go find him, and Krillin wound up meeting Dende halfway. So they went to get the Dragon Balls to wound up wishing Piccolo back to Earth, back to life, and to Planet Namek. That was his request. Of course, it drug out. That's why I'm going over it so fast. And then that's when they had the wish. Vegeta shows up because the sky is black. He woke up, the sky is black. Okay, what the hell's going on? Oh man, these bastards tricked me. So he went to where they were, because obviously he could feel their power levels. because after Earth he could sense energy, and yeah, and he found them, and he was threatening Dende to make a wish to make him immortal. But before Dende could make the wish, the Dragon Balls go kaput because Guru kicks the bucket. Over the grief of losing so many of his children from Freza, his grief couldn't hold up, and his time was already going near anyway. His time was already going out, but grief took him out sooner. So he kicked the bucket, turned the Dragon Ball to stone, and Freza shows up, and that's when they fight. Freza, see that Frieza's on par. He's on par with Vegeta, and the fight goes. They're pretty cool until Vegeta goes him into transforming. When he transforms, he's a complete monster. His second form, he's a monster. And then Piccolo shows up because Gohan has some raise boosts here and there and all of that stuff. But Vegeta's scared crapless. He craps his pants, and yeah, he's not really even able to fight because he realizes he's way in over his head. Frieza was twice as strong as his first form. His second form made him twice as strong as his first form. He went from 530,000 to over 1 million. So went from 530,000 to over 1 million. So when you're that strong, now you're freaking. He's way above everybody else. Even Goku at this point from the Ginyu saga. So even Goku wouldn't be able to handle him. So because he's super freaking. But Piccolo, when he got on Earth, when he got to Namek, he found Nail, merged with Nail, and became even stronger than Ginyu saga Goku. Because he went from being just regular. Because they couldn't recognize him at first, because he was way stronger than because the last time Goku had felt Piccolo, it was during the Raditz saga, and it was during when Goku was coming on his way to the fight, when they were fighting Vegeta and Nappa on Earth. That's the last time he felt anything from any kind of thing from Piccolo. So he was like, wait a minute, Piccolo's way stronger. This doesn't feel like it feels like Piccolo, but it's way stronger because Goku's in the healing chamber, but he can sense everything that's going on. Let's see. Piccolo fought a good fight with Frieza second form. That's one of my favorite fights too. That's why I tell people you gotta go back and watch these arcs. And this, even me describing it and talking about it, it's not doing it just. You gotta go back and watch it. Nothing beats actually going back and watching it. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats going back and watching it, because you can't. The experience of watching it and watching these episodes and watching these fights is way better than Super. But it was all Frieza transformed his third form, Berserker. What was it? Berserker form or something like that. I forgot what he called it. But I think it was ripped off Alien vs Predator. But he started overpowering Piccolo. Gohan stepped in, and Frieza got frustrated and transformed again to his fourth form, his final form. They fought him off for a while, but Vegeta requested to be mortally wounded by Krillin, so Dende could step in and heal him. And yeah, when Vegeta almost died, Dende stepped in and healed him, and that's when. But this is while all this is going on while Frieza's still transforming into his final form. But once he's finished with his final form and Vegeta's healed, he kills Dende. Frieza then kills Dende. And then he goes to try to kill Gohan, and Vegeta steps in the way, and Frieza's moving, doing these things in less than a second. You can't even see it. This is just like, let's say if you're an ordinary person and he does a death beam, you won't even see it. You see him standing still and you look up and you're dead. you won't even see him move. You won't even see him move. All you know is he's standing there and you have a hole in your chest. You're already dead. I'm just breaking it down how, because the screen went grayish, which means no one could predict. It was instantaneous. No one could actually just see it. You couldn't just, unlike all the other things in Z, even when Goku was fighting the Ginyu Force, it looked like he was standing still. They couldn't even see him move. They was punching and their fists were going right through him. There's like an image that was left there. And that's just how it was. I don't know. That's how fast it was. Frieza's death beam was faster than that. Frieza's beam was faster than that. How Goku was standing still. How it looked like Goku was standing still when he was fighting Jason Berta. Frieza's beam was faster than that. They changed the scene colors to show you how fast Frieza's attacks really were. And even when Vegeta was fighting Frieza, Vegeta attempted to fight Frieza because he got his Zenkai boost. He thought he was worthy to fight him all of a sudden, and even at 2% of his power, Frieza just embarrassed him. He just embarrassed Frieza, and he just embarrassed Vegeta, and Frieza dodged everything, and when his pride was finally shattered and stuff, Frieza began to do the beatdown on Vegeta. Frieza began to do the smackdown on Vegeta, and because his pride was shattered and all that stuff, even when he did one move at full speed, Vegeta couldn't even keep up. And then that's when Vegeta realized he stood no chance. He stood no chance. But when Frieza was about to do the final blow on Vegeta, that's when Goku shows up, and all those attacks that he was doing on the same attack he tried to do on Gohan, the same attack that nobody else saw, the death beams and stuff he was doing that could have killed everybody else, Goku swats them away like they're nothing. And not only did he swat them away like nothing, he deflected them away from his friends. Because Goku was a little bit above 2% Frieza, and he did exceptionally well when they first fought, when they met. And this what took me back to 4th grade too, when he actually finally met Frieza, and the suspense came in, and we had to wait till the next episode before them to fight. It really, because they did one exchange and Goku won and kicked him in the jaw, and Goku said, "I will finish you," and it kind of just, we were waiting for that day, man. We was glued to the TV, man. After we got out of school, we couldn't wait till Dragon Ball Z came on. See, I remember these moments. We couldn't wait because we wanted to see Goku fight. I still remember these things when Goku was spinning square up against Frieza. I still remember this stuff, but I still remember like it was yesterday. I was still a kid in the 5th grade, man. I didn't even know what transformation that Goku had here. They're like, what is that? All I know is I was like, man, I just saw him get real mad, and his hair turned like that. Because my sister was asking me what form it was, what is that, and who is that? That's Goku. He got real mad, and his hair turned blonde. He got real angry. That's all I know. I didn't know nothing about Super Saiyan back then. I was a kid, but shoot, he transformed. No, he fought. Did Freza? He fought valiant, but Vegeta, not Vegeta. Goku killed Vegeta. I can't pass up the impactful stuff. That's why certain things I go into detail. Some things I just skip over because it wasn't just impactful. But Vegeta's speech to Goku and him crying because he his whole life he was enslaved by Freza. Freza had killed his father. Freza and forced him to do his bidding, forced him to be an evil bastard. Basically, he had to do everything to his will because Freza was. You know how strong Freza is. That's why he tried to rebel against Freza. That's why he tried to get the Dragon Balls in the Saiyan saga to rebel against Freza. It all came full circle. That's why they went rogue. Him and his crew went rogue. They wanted to be immortal, so they can challenge Freza, so they wouldn't have to be under Freza's rule anymore. Because their whole life they were slaves to Freza. It'll come full circle in the Buu saga. I'm gonna explain Majin Vegeta's character, why he responded and acted the way he did. It's not. I'm gonna explain it why he's not. It wasn't him just being a tyrannical bastard. I'm gonna tell you, Majin Vegeta was not the evil villain that you thought it was. There was a lot of reasoning behind what he did, but I'm gonna explain that probably in another video. It might be the next video. I'm gonna do a lot of explanation with this stuff, but he's had a lot of trauma, and when it came to his childhood, him being ruled by his whole race was wiped out. Just like when he was telling the Supreme Kai, "You watch your race dwindle to a handful. Spend most of your life ruled by another, and then you'll see what's more important than your own strength." His whole race was wiped out, but of course Supreme Kai, his people were wiped out by Majin Buu, so he kind of knows where Vegeta. He's experienced some of the things that Vegeta has experienced because Majin Buu wiped out. Majin Buu had wiped out the Supreme Kais. So back in before pre-Dragon Ball, but Majin Buu was terrorized. He wiped out all the Supreme Kai's family. So Supreme Kai knows what that feels like. Being under, but he wasn't ruled by anybody else. But he didn't spend most of his life under Freza because he was probably 10 times stronger than Freza, 100 times stronger than Freza. A lot of the Kais that got killed by Majin Buu were like Super Saiyan 3 Goku level, so they could have easily wiped out Freza like with nothing, like it was nothing. Freza was nothing to them. But anyway, because it was said too that Supreme Kai was Cell Saga Goku level, which is miles above Freza. Because the Buu that's why he absorbed that the other Kai, the big fat Kai that became when he became Fat Buu. That Kai was easily according to the Super manga, he was easily Super Saiyan Blue Goku level. He was Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue level. But after he had sealed up Moro, he had got weak, and he was probably down to I would say, where would he be at? Because he was stronger than Super Buu. Because Buff Buu was stronger than Super Buu. Because when Kid Buu was transforming, when Super Buu was transforming and he became Buff Buu, they say his power went up instead of went down. Buff Buu was stronger than Super Buu. So he was easily probably Ultimate Gohan level. But anyway, Vegeta speaks to Goku. He was telling him, "Look, you gotta get this sentimental stuff off your heart and all this. It's not gonna save you. Not in the fight with Freza. Freza's a ruthless, heartless bastard. You gotta kill him. You gotta go all out. You're not gonna get through Freza if you don't kill him. You have to kill him. If you want any chance with him, you gotta take him out. You gotta take this guy out. You gotta use everything you got, all your stakes, because you gotta kill this guy. He's an evil bastard." So this is where it's come to play. This is what comes to play when it comes to that. You're an evil Frieza, and Vegeta was right. It turns out Vegeta was right. Vegeta's always been right when it came to Frieza. He's spent most of his life ruled under Frieza. He'll never be good. He'll never be redeemed. For anybody that thinks that, He'll never be redeemed or none of that crap. This is the thing. Freza is
It looks like you lost another one.
I like Frieza's character. Frieza to me, I like Frieza in Dragon Ball as much as I like the Joker in Batman and Justice League and all that stuff. I don't think they're using Frieza in the right way. They need to stop the whole making him stronger trope, because Batman, he never got strong enough. They're gonna give Goku God Ki. When they gave Goku God Ki, he should have went back down to regular old Super Saiyan. I can understand them giving him power-ups here and there every now and then. If they're gonna give him Ultra Instinct and Eternal Power, they should have just left it alone and went back to regular standard Super Saiyan. If they're gonna give him God Ki and Battle of Gods, they should have left it alone and went right back down to standard old Super Saiyan. That's how you ask me. That's if you ask me. Cause a lot of people had these powers, just like when in Bleach, Ichigo got a lot of power ups, but eventually he lost them again. So it's not just overpowering people. But anyway, Vegeta gave his speech. Goku fought Frieza. It's a long drawn out fight, but it's a great fight. It's a phenomenal fight. You should go watch it. I think it's on YouTube. But if you want to be legit, you can go to Crunchyroll, I suppose. But I think YouTube has a better version of it. Not better version, but if you want to go the free route, go on YouTube and watch just the Goku versus Frieza. You can watch it with filler, without filler, all that stuff. But yeah, that's one of my favorite fights in Dragon Ball, Goku versus Frieza, because Frieza's way more powerful. And Goku had to pull out all the stakes. He had to use all his martial arts training, all his King Kai, everything he learned from King Kai, everything he learned from Kame, everything in the whole fight. Even after he turned Super Saiyan, he had to use after image. Frieza even knew the fact that Frieza knew what after image was, because Frieza tried to do a death beam or something at Goku, and he was like, "Oh, that's an after image technique." The fact that Frieza knows what these things are, Goku had to pull out all the stakes against Frieza. Because after image is actually from Master Roshi, Muten Roshi. See, I know my stuff, y'all. Don't play with me. I know my stuff. Don't underestimate me. Okay. I might not know as much as geeked when it comes to Japanese lore and all that stuff, but I've watched it as long as he has. I grew up with it. I've grown up with Dragon Ball. I've watched it all my life, so I know, and I watched it over and over and over. I've seen the different dubs. I've seen there are actually a lot more than just one Funimation dub. There are several dubs out there, because they've redone them a few times. The Ocean dub I watched one of the Funimation dubs. I watched the uncut one. I watched a couple of the dubs where they changed it. I noticed where they changed it because I watched it all the way through several times, and I watched the Kai dub, and the Kai dub kind of led to Super, and I seen the Japanese dub. Seen it all, man. I seen it all. I seen the English dub with the Japanese music. Now I gotta go back and watch some of the Japanese dub, because some of that stuff, some of the meanings, I can see where he's coming from when it comes to some of the meanings of a lot of the meanings, especially when it comes to in the Frieza arc. In this arc, a lot of it was switched around, and it wasn't. But the closest thing to it is the Kai dub. If you want to get somewhere close to what the Japanese dub was talking about, watch the Kai dub. Because it's not trash. I would say the Funimation dub is, if anything, the Funimation dub is considered trash because it's further away from Toriyama's vision. If you feel what I'm saying, the Kai dub is more accurate to Toriyama's vision of what he wanted Dragon Ball to be. The Funimation dub had the superhero version of Goku and everything, and the Ally of the Good, Nightmare to You, I am the Hope of the Universe, and all that kind of stuff. But in the Kai dub, I was a person, I was a Saiyan that was sent to Earth and destined to defeat you and stuff like that. He just wanted to fight, you know. He didn't care about all the other extra stuff. He didn't care about being a superhero and all that. So it kind of, but you get my drift. The thing is, Goku had to pull out all the stakes against Frieza, all the stops, all the stakes. Vegeta gave him this motivational speech, and then he did the Kaioken, and he eventually tried the Spirit Bomb, and he had to have Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin to distract Frieza while he did the Spirit Bomb. He pulled it off. He hit Frieza with the Spirit Bomb. They thought the day was saved, and no, Frieza survived. He kills Piccolo. Well, seemingly kills Piccolo. And the moment that I love the most, even though probably not supposed to, but I understand the whole emotional thing where Frieza then kills Krillin, blows Krillin up in front of his face, in front of Goku's face, and the last thing Krillin says is Goku. Calls out to Goku, calls out to his best friend before he's blown up. He was trying to tell them to leave the planet before. When he saw Frieza, he looked like, y'all need to leave the planet now. Y'all need to go get Piccolo and get the hell out of here. Because he had shot Piccolo, grab Piccolo, get the hell out of here. But what about you, Dad? What about you? I'm not leaving without you. Gohan, you don't have a say in the matter. You need to get the hell out of here now. I'll do it because he wanted to make sure they were safe. But he blew Krillin up, and then he turned Super Saiyan. He turned into the legendary Super Saiyan. It was all that build up from the Namek side when Goku, before Goku fought Raccoon, when he first arrived on Namek, and Vegeta sensed his power. All that build up came to surface. See, you have build up, you have execution. You see what I mean? You have build up and execution. That's what I mean. You have the build up, you have the execution. When you build it up all the way up to see what Super does, they build up and then there's nothing. It's thin air, and it just goes into something else. You build something else up, and then it just leads to nothing. This is how you build up. The legendary Super Saiyan. I'm the legendary Super Saiyan. I'm what you fear the most. And then it wasn't Vegeta, it was Goku actually that became the legendary Super Saiyan. But it was still build up. It was still build up and execution. The Super Saiyan was a great payoff. That was a phenomenal payoff. You seeing Super Saiyan, and then it was a prophecy. It was a prophecy that because Frieza knew about the prophecy that the Super Saiyan was going to rise up and destroy him. He knew that. That's why I said Frieza should have stayed dead. He should have stayed dead. Okay, but if you're going to keep him alive, leave him a weakling. Okay, leave him a weakling. But still have him give Goku and the Z Gang trouble, but leave him as a weakling. Because Batman could one-shot Joker. Batman could easily beat Joker. Okay? Fighting-wise, Joker wasn't a challenge for Batman. You see what I'm saying? But Goku, with Joker was conniving. He was clever. He was conniving. He was tricky. He was. If they're gonna have that dynamic, you be creative with it. You see what I'm saying? But with Freza, he is a. He turns Super Saiyan. He goes to beat down on Freza, and they're trying to get Gohan the other side of there, and Gohan goes to find Bulma and get out of there, and Frieza decides to try to blow up the planet because he's a sore loser. Yeah, he's a sore loser, so he decides he wants to blow up the planet. He's a sore loser. What makes him a sore loser? Yeah, he did that in Resurrection F. He's tried it every time he's lost a fight. He didn't see himself winning, so yeah, he said he could live in space and Goku can't, apparently. and he survived a planet exploding. He survived a planet exploding. Goku and Vegeta and them can't survive that. Their whole bodies are annihilated. It's like Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta's body. No matter how strong they get, a planet exploding can still annihilate their body, can still obliterate their body. Ultimate Gohan. They can't survive a planet exploding, but Freza from the Namek saga can. That just shows you how durable his body is. But anyway, he survived a planet exploding, which is several times larger than Earth, by the way. Namek is way bigger than Earth. But because they can fly around the Earth in seconds, even in Saiyan Saga, Namek Saga, they can fly around planet Earth in seconds. It's nothing for them to get to Earth or get to Namek. I mean, get to Earth or get to wherever they wanted around the planet. Planet Earth is small compared to Namek. Okay, that's why it took them 5 hours to get to Guru's place, even when they were flying, you know. But he turned Super Saiyan, and yeah, beats down on Freza. He's trying to give Freza a second chance, but but here's what happens. King Kai devises a plan behind their backs, everyone's back, to try to bring back everyone. And he brought back Guru to bring the Namek Dragon Balls back. One thing, Goku, he had Kame. Since Piccolo was back alive, still alive. He had Kame wish. They got his Dragon Balls. Mr. Popo got his Dragon Balls and wished everyone killed by Freza back to life, and that brought Guru back. And with Guru being back, the Namekian Dragon Balls came back, which brought Purunga back. Dende makes a wish. Freza tried to get to the Purunga before they did, but you have to speak the native language. And so Freza failed. He wanted to be immortal, but no, it didn't happen. Purunga sent everyone to Earth, which was Dende's wish, except Goku and Freza, because Goku wanted to finish his fight with Freza. He didn't want to go to Earth, because he said, King Kai, if you take me out of this fight, I'll never forgive you for it. Yeah, and all that stuff. He chose to stay on Namek, a dying planet, and fight Freza. And yeah, and so the Earth, so they're safe. Gohan, Bulma, all of them, they're safe on Earth. Piccolo, because Dende found Piccolo and healed him. Yeah, so at this point, everyone's waiting for Goku to kill Freza and come back to Earth. Newsflash: Goku kept giving Freza chances, and no, he didn't make it off he made it off the planet like with a second to spare. And we're gonna end it there, because the Freza saga ends with Goku them not knowing where Goku is. Them thinking, they said Goku's still alive somewhere. He's still alive out there, but he refuses to come back, and I'll tell you why. Well, you already know why, of course. But we're gonna stop it off here, and we're gonna go to the next when I discuss the Cell arc, everything from the Cell arc, and then the Buu arc, and of course, yeah. But I wanted to. My next videos coming up will be how Goku character was ruined. I'm probably gonna do Frieza's, but I really want to explain Majin Vegeta. I might do that one next. How Majin Vegeta wasn't the villain that we thought he was. There's a reasoning behind his madness. I'm gonna explain all the stuff that came with his horror show. You know, he's not the villain we thought he was. Majin Vegeta. Okay, but that's gonna be the next topic. Next time, T Does Entertainment signing out.